which mini head is right for you.
This is the Peavey mini head shootout.
Hey, I'm Fred from Peavey Electronics. I'm here with Jason. We're going to check out some of these mini heads, find out which one's right for you. Mini heads have become really popular. In fact, we were one of the first companies to actually build mini heads because they imitate the sound of a full-on cranked 100-watt head at a much lower volume. Let's check out the Classic 20 and see what that one sounds like first. So the Classic 20 head is based off a 20-watt combo that we made many, many years ago with an 8-inch speaker, and it was so liked that we decided that we'd take the preamp and put it in this little mini head. As you can see, we've got two channels. We've got a lead channel and a clean channel. It's got a fantastic clean to mid-rock kind of sound, perfect for classic rock, and it also has a beautiful reverb. We spent a lot of time on the reverb to make sure it wasn't over the top, but it sounded just enough to get from anywhere from a smooth little reverb to even some surf music. Let's check that out right now. We're going to do a little bit of a reverb on the light end on the clean channel, and then we'll turn the reverb up so you can get an idea of how lush the reverb can be. Now let's make it a little bit more reverb, kind of a surf tone. Now we're going to turn the reverb up a little bit so you can get a color of the actual reverb itself. For years, we used actual spring reverbs in most all of our classic amplifiers because we couldn't find one that actually sounded right. Well, this digital reverb is the most fantastic sounding spring reverb clone that we have ever come up with, and we've put that in both the Classic 20 and the 6505. So that was the Classic 20. Let's check out the 6505. So Jason, check out this boosted clean channel. This is actually the sound that a lot of people would be familiar with this style of amp. Check the boost channel here, crank this up, away you go. So the 6505 really needs no explanation. The original, its big brother, kind of defined a whole genre of music, but it's really more versatile than a lot of people think. It's got a really good clean channel on it. There's a shared EQ on this particular amplifier, but we have independent post and pre-gain settings, so you can actually set the volumes for both channels pretty easily. We have the resonance and presence controls that were found on the original version on this little amplifier here, and those are fantastic for getting that speaker movement at either high volumes or low volumes, depending on where you want that bass. And the presence, exactly the same thing. Both of them are unique to the power amp section of this amp. Perfect for recording. We've got a switch on the back for 20 watts, 5 watts, and 1 watt. So let's take a listen to the clean channel. We've got a couple of features on it. We've got a bright and we've got a crunch on the clean channel. So how we got it set right now is we've got the gain turned quite a bit down. That's the best way to clean it up. We've got the post gain up a little bit. And we're going to go from the normal, which is basically the EQs all straight up, and then we're going to turn on the bright switch. So go ahead and play a little bit, and I'll turn the bright switch and add it so you can hear what we're doing. The other feature on the clean channel is the crunch. Now, it's kind of deceiving because it's like having a third channel on here, but it shares the EQ of the lead channel. But this is the sound that people are really familiar with on this amplifier. And then obviously the lead channel on this amplifier is legendary. It developed a whole genre of music. And the most difficult thing for us when we were engineering this amplifier was getting the smaller version of this to sound like its big brother. And we've done a fantastic job. So check this out. Now, one of the unique features about this amplifier is the resonance and presence controls. And how they're used, really, they're power amp section features. And they allow you to vary the movement of the speaker off 0 on the low end. So if you're playing at low volume, you can let the speaker move a little bit more, and the mechanical advantage of that speaker moving is going to give you a little more low end at low volume. And as you crank the amplifier up, you may want to tighten it up a little bit, that low end. So that's what the resonance control does. So why don't you play a little bit, some crunchy, chunky stuff, and I'll vary the resonance control so you can hear what it sounds like. So you can hear the resonance and presence controls. One affects the high end, the other affects the low end, the amount of woof, the amount of chug that you've got in the amp, and that's unique to the 6505. Now let's check out probably the most versatile of all three heads, the invective mini head. So that was lead channel just as it is on the invective, and it sounds very familiar. But we've added some features to it. We've got a gate, we've got a boost, and also a tight switch on that particular channel. So let's take a listen to the boost right now. That adds a little push to the front end, a little bit more gain, a little bit more aggressive. Now we can add the tight, which actually takes some of the edge down afterward, and it sounds a bit like this. Finally, the invective shares the resonance and presence features of the 6505. That gives you the ability to control the woof and the low end and high end at varying volumes and make it just right for the stage or venue that you're playing. Now you've listened to all three mini heads. What's cool about all of them, though, is what's the same. They're all built on the same power amp platform, two EL84s. Let's take a look at the back and see what lines them all up. All three of these amplifiers share the same power amp section and the same back panel. And what's really cool about them is its ability to actually record silently. We put a resistive load inside the amplifier. That allows you to disconnect the speaker, press the speaker defeat button. That energy will go to that resistive load, simulating it being attached to a guitar cabinet, and allow you to record either with the USB direct out, which is here, or the MSDI out with a cranked up tube amp. In addition, all three amps have a buffered effects loop and the ability to switch up to 4 features using a standard 2-button foot switch. You can choose either the option on the top, the option on the bottom, or you could have 2 foot switches connected and switch all 4 functions of any of these amplifiers. Now that you've had a chance to check out these mini heads, let me know which one or 2 is right for you. Leave it in the comments, and then after that, check out this video on this very cool Invective 412 cabinet.